Hi everyone, and welcome to the April edition of the Cyclone Snapshot. We have a great show planned for you today. Later on, I will be meeting with two fantastic students who will speak about the upcoming spring musical, Matilda. But first, I'd like to provide a recap of what was a great month of March at the high school. Earlier in March, we held our second annual TED Ed Night. Students and staff presented their ideas worth sharing, modeled after the well-known TED Talks. Gaining confidence in public speaking and being able to deliver a message to an audience is a huge skill that I'm happy our students had a chance to develop. Thank you to Ms. Noor and Ms. Brown for their work in supporting our students and planning this event. In the middle of March, our IB art students held their annual IB art exhibition. This was a celebration of our senior IB art students and a look into the various pieces of art that they have created over their 4 years at Southside High School. Thank you to Mr. Karakin for his work in planning this event, along with our entire art department for their support of our students and their passion towards art education. Later in March, our Theory of Knowledge teachers held the TOK exhibition, which allowed students to showcase their ability to reflect critically on diverse ways of knowing and on different areas of knowledge. They also articulated their ideas to fellow students and to our staff, which is a very important skill. Also in March, our photo and wood design students welcomed our friends from the Sandell Center to our school to use our laser engraver to etch family photos onto beautiful wooden plaques. It was great to strengthen this community connection. Our DECA Club had a wonderful showing at the state competition in Rochester. 21 students qualified for the DECA International Career Development Conference National Competition. These students will be traveling to Anaheim, California over the April break to compete at the national level. We wish them the best of luck. Thank you to our faculty advisors, Mr. English, Ms. Kadar, and Ms. Collins. At this time, I would now like to welcome Ellie and Kaylee to the show. These two students are integral parts of the upcoming spring musical, Matilda. Welcome, guys. So would you guys start just by introducing yourself and explaining to our audience how you're involved in the upcoming production? So Ellie, why don't you start?
I'm the stage manager, so for the rehearsal part of the process, our theater teacher, Ms. Siderman, kind of takes over and directs everybody. And then when it's time for the show nights, she kind of gets to sit in the audience, and I take over running. So I instruct the sound people, the lighting people, the people on like effects, and all the running crew backstage so that Ms. Siderman can kind of just sit down and enjoy the show.
Wow, that's great. You know, as somebody that's been to many of these shows, sometimes you take for granted all those things that happen behind the scenes, but hearing you explain that really shows how much actually goes into putting on this play with all the different elements that have to happen to make it all come together. So good for you. Being in charge of all that must be a lot of responsibility, so nice. Okay, great. Kaylee, how about you?
I am in the cast. I play Mrs. Wormwood. And additionally, I also attend crew calls on Saturdays, which is where we, come together to help build the set. And that's a lot of fun. It's really fun for me to be a part of like the on-stage action and also the off-stage action.
Yeah, that's great. So before we started rolling this this film, Kaylee was doing some impressions of Miss Wormwood. I know it's been something you've been working on. It's been a hard dialect to learn, I heard. So any chance you can give the audience just a short little snippet of what they can see?
Yeah, so my first line in the show is, "Look at this! She's reading a book. Oh, that's not normal for a 5-year-old. I think she might be an idiot."
Excellent, very good. So just giving our audience a little bit of a look into what they can see at the performance, so thank you. So Ellie, how about you? What has been being a part of the drama program at the high school, how has that helped you as a student? What are the skills and traits and dispositions that you've developed being a part of this important group?
Well, I've been a part of the theater program for 3 years. I skipped out of my freshman year because we had all the red and blue days and like COVID was just kind of difficult. But like joining more recently, like I think being able to balance both the full IB diploma and the theater, like my kind of life in theater, has really helped me like develop time management skills. And also just being in theater in general with my director and stage management positions like throughout the year has helped me with a lot of leadership skills and like learning to collaborate with other people. And it's also helped me like with my future, like I used to do a lot of the sound technician, so I like sound technician stuff, so I hold a lot of technical knowledge with both the lighting equipment and the sound equipment, which has helped me get jobs like field work, like recitals and concerts. So being in it on the behind the scenes sort of side of it has really helped me with a lot of skills in the future that I'll use.
Those three you mentioned, leadership, time management, and collaboration. Those are critical skills that you're going to need when you leave here. Those skills will travel with you wherever you go, in addition to the technical skills that you've learned, right, with the specifics of operating soundboards and things like that, lighting. All of those things are so important, so that's great. Kaylee, how about you?
I agree with Ellie. I mean, I think those are really the most crucial part of the Drama Guild. I think especially when you're on stage and you're actually playing someone else, it's really interesting to, you have to put your life aside and you have to learn to just be in a civil environment with all of these people, and it's really something magical that you get to do together. And it's like, it kind of prepares you for life in the sense that you're not going to get along with everybody in life, but you have to be respectful and kind and hardworking, and that will get you a very long way.
Yeah, that's great. And I think when you see these plays, you see how much teamwork everybody has to come together, and you're relying on so many people. So you could be performing, you could do a perfect run through of your piece, but you're relying on the people around you to also hold up their end too. And when it comes together, really nice piece, it's really rewarding, I'm sure, for you guys as a group.
There's a lot of trust between everyone.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So Matilda is a story that many of our viewers probably know very well. It's a very popular story, and we're all excited to see it. I'm wondering if you could share with our audience something that they may not know about the production, whether it's the show itself or any of the behind the scenes, some interesting piece of information that they might not be realizing about the show.
Well, one thing is that in order to kind of get the proportions right for everything, we actually have 13 fifth graders in our cast to kind of come in with the ensemble for certain numbers. We also installed like a real swing set for the first number in Act 2. And something I don't think many people know is that it's our first moving set since COVID. So previously we've done unit sets. If anybody's seen like Urinetown or Pirates of Penzance, those were unit sets. So they were like, they just stayed in one place. There were no moving parts generally. So I have 28 different cues for moving sets. We have like a living room, a playground, we have school gates, libraries, like a ton of moving stuff. Since like it's our first time since COVID that we've been doing that. So it's been a really, like, it's been just a unique experience to other productions we've had to do.
Wow, very cool. And I love the fact that we have some of our elementary students participating. That's so nice. It's a whole district-wide effort here. Yeah. And maybe some future Drama Guild members down the road, potentially, after this experience. So that's awesome. So Kaylee, how about you?
Yeah, we are certainly recruiting early with the fifth graders, and that has been a really, really fun experience for like us as the high schoolers to like kind of take in and nurture these elementary school students, so that's really fun. Our music director, Dr. Freiling, the other day had a conversation with us about like the magic that happens as a performer, and like when you're working on a piece of theater, your job is to make it look like magic, but then what happens is that people really do believe that it is magic, and so like not a lot of people think about what goes on behind the scenes and how much work goes into making it look effortless, and it is such a joy to be able to create that feeling for people. I think to be able to transport someone somewhere else for 2 hours is one of the greatest gifts, I think, as a performer you can be given.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. And I would also share that just, being in the building a lot, every time I'm pass by the auditorium, it seems like you guys are working. So you guys put a lot of time in, that is for sure. And you can tell because the product of what you guys produce is so excellent. So thank you so much for joining us, being on the show, and giving our audience a look into the drama program and the upcoming show, Matilda. So we appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
So we encourage all of our viewers to attend the upcoming musical, Matilda. There are 4 different showings in total. The first showing is on Wednesday, April 10th at 4:30 p.m., an afternoon show. The others are Thursday, April 11th through Saturday, April 13th, all at 7:30 p.m. All shows will be held in the high school auditorium. To buy tickets, we encourage you to visit the site sshs.seatyourself.biz, B-I-Z. We are now at the staff showcase portion of the show. We'd like to recognize the aides in our building. Our aides wear many hats, helping out in offices, supervising spaces such as the cafeteria and hallways, and providing one-to-one support for our students. Thank you for all of your hard work day in and day out. We appreciate you. Here are some important upcoming dates to remember at the high school. On Saturday, April 13th, Southside High School is hosting the ACT exam. Also on Saturday, April 13th, the District Wellness Walk is being held at Southside Middle School from 10 to 12. On Monday, April 15th, we are proud to recognize the fantastic students being recognized for their induction into the National Art Honor Society at 7:30 p.m. On Tuesday, April 16th, we will be inducting talented students into the World Language Honor Society at 6:30 p.m. Continuing with our honor societies, on April 17th, we are inducting wonderful students into the National Honor Society at 7 p.m. in the high school auditorium. As you can see, it's a busy week at the high school. On Thursday, April 18th, we are hosting the Science Fair and Symposium. The symposium recognizes our research students and starts at 6:30. The Science Fair is a celebration of the work of our 9th and 10th grade students and their research and exploration of various science topics. I'd like to thank all of our viewers for joining us for the April edition of the Cyclone Snapshot, and again, a special thanks to Ellie and Kaylee for coming on the show to promote the upcoming musical Matilda. We hope to see you there, and thank you for joining, and we'll see you next time.